Hi, Mystery Writers. I'm Sarah Altair. Welcome to the Mystery Writer Studio where we talk about writing mysteries. And today I want to talk about point of view, and which is how the story is told, and specifically about third person point of view because it's very common in mysteries, and there's a reason for that. Because how you tell your mystery makes a difference. And point of view is the voice that tells the story to your readers. Third person point of view allows readers to know what the narrator thinks and experiences without going directly into their head, which would be first person point of view, where the narrator of the story is the protagonist, so it's told in first person. With third person point of view, you limit the perspective to one person's perspective, but you're kind of telling it from out here. Ursula Le Guin described it as only what the viewpoint character knows, feels, perceives, thinks, guesses, hopes, remembers, etc., can be told. The reader can infer what other people feel and think only from what that viewpoint character observes of their behavior. So, this is going to keep you from head hopping in your scenes, which is you're inside one person's head, your protagonist, and all of a sudden you leap to somebody else and you know what's inside their head. In third person point of view, that doesn't happen. Can only guess what's inside the other person's head or what they're feeling from what your narrator observes. All right. The third person point of view is limited to the point of view of that one character, and it creates an intimacy between the readers and the character. So even though the story is not in the first person, as a writer, you can reveal thoughts and responses that allow readers to sense and feel what the other character does. I tried to find it for today, but years ago there was something that John Le Carre said. He did a little illustration of how easy it is to go from first person point of view to third person point of view and still have all the emotions attached. I wish I could find it, but I couldn't find it. All right. So, using different scenes, you can tell the story from the point of view of characters other than your protagonist. And many mysteries and suspense writers alternate between protagonist and the antagonist or other characters, but all from the third person point of view. Sometimes I've also seen third person point of view for the protagonist and first person point of view for the antagonist, like a little diary or something like that. The challenge your sleuth has is to dig deeper and to discover motivations and actions that characters keep hidden. And so when you're writing, whatever it is, say they're interviewing a suspect, whatever it is that suspect knows, you can't tell the reader that. Your protagonist has to dig it out of them or infer things from the character's behavior. So you challenge your sleuth to dig deeper with what they feel and hear and sense from other characters. And you peel back the layers of your sleuth, and they peel back the layers of understanding in order to solve that mystery puzzle. So, as you build tension in your story, the character has limited knowledge, and this is a great way to build suspense because not only do they have limited knowledge, your reader has limited knowledge. And so both the reader and your protagonist are trying to figure out what's going on and where do they go next and what's the best next question to ask. And your reader is trapped in the head of the character. They can't get anything else but what that character's view is. So, as a writer, as you keep secrets from that character, you're also keeping them from the reader, and you're building tension in the reader. They still want to find out what's going on, and they turn the pages to get more, to get closer to how to solve that mystery. So as your protagonist encounters challenges, your reader follows along, expectant for the next discovery. And good mystery writing involves keeping your character and your reader in suspense. So as the mystery progresses, your reader's perspective on characters and situations evolves. And this evolution of understanding is exactly what mystery readers want. They want, slowly, surely, as they go through the story, they understand more and more, and they get glimpses of the possibilities of who the villain might be. Because they see only what the character sees, they are tied to the discovery path of your mystery. So how can I say this? You're building tension along the way because you're keeping that villain hidden, and because your protagonist doesn't know, your reader doesn't know, but they're involved in the story and they're involved in the puzzle. So as your protagonist encounters challenges, your reader follows along, expectant for that next discovery. So good mystery writing involves keeping your character and your reader in suspense. As the mystery involves, your reader's perception of the characters evolves also, and this evolution of understanding is exactly what they want. They want that evolution. They want that change. They want the layers to be peeled back so they learn more. And because they only see what the character sees, they are following along on that discovery path, and that is what makes a good mystery, is the reader really cares. All right. So what's a common challenge of using the third person limited point of view? The most common challenge for beginning writers to third person limited point of view is the temptation to head hop. I mentioned that earlier, right? And that readers changing, that means changing characters' perspective in within a scene. So just don't do it. Always stay with that main point of view character. If you go outside the view of your protagonist, you need to use separate scenes to illuminate that other character's point of view. So within a scene, you're always with one character's point of view. And I would like to suggest also, especially for beginning writers, that you limit the number of characters you use to narrate your mystery. Besides the protagonist and the antagonist, choose wisely if you want to let your reader inside another character. I know that psychological novelists like P.D. James, they will tell the story from various perspectives within the story, and it really takes a master storyteller to do that. So if you're a beginning writer, I suggest staying with that one person point of view. After all, the main point of your story is to create a puzzle for your reader, and too many viewpoints can muddle the story. You're more likely to confuse the reader rather than enlighten them. And I have found that true even with Um, Writers like Elizabeth George, where one character does one thing and one character does another thing, and you keep getting all these different perspectives of what's going on, and it can be confusing. I'm pretty sophisticated mystery reader, and I've been confused. So choose your point of view before you begin your mystery. If you have any doubts, try writing, say, the first chapter in the first person point of view and writing it in the third person point of view. And this is going to tell you several things. One is which flows better for you as a writer. Is it easier for you to write in the first person, or is it easier for you to write in the third person? Um, and I tried this a few years ago, thinking I wanted to be inside a character's head, and I wrote it in the first person, and then I wrote it again in the third person, and I was like, nope, no, I am more comfortable writing in the third person. Because as I thought about how the story would unfold, I realized that third person would work better for the mystery. So alternating between third person and first person is a device that some authors use, as I mentioned, and you can do that in the hands of a skilled writer. This technique can work very well, and you really have to get into your characters' heads to carry it off with any panache, as it were. So it's your choice for storytelling, is the bottom line. Third person limited point of view is the standard storytelling device in popular fiction. So readers are used to it, and you can use this point of view to your advantage as you create that trail for your mystery sleuth to follow. And that's pretty much what I had to say about third person point of view. As always, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'm happy to answer questions. And thank you for being here. I will see you next week in Mystery Writer Studio.